Music Interview Corner.
Hello from the Music Interview Corner. I have something special for you tonight. I'm here with Eye of Melian, and I have Johanna and Martijn for you.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, thank you for taking time for the interview.
Our
Thank you for
pleasure.
the invitation. Yeah, it's awesome to be chatting with you about the thing that we love so much, our Melian.
Yes, and your new album, right? It's called Forest of Forgetting, and it will be released through Napalm Records on February 20th. So it's just a bit more than 2 weeks, and it's going to be out. So first,
Yeah.
can you tell me how was the recording process?
Oh, well, Johanna, what's the recording process? What do you think?
I feel like we started early, but as it often happens, you feel like at first there's so much time, but towards the end of it, you feel like, oh, time is running out and we're really having to rush ourselves. But I'm so proud of how the album came together, even under a few time constraints that we experienced. But indeed, such a wonderful process once again. Singing this music, it's always such a treat to get new songs from Martijn to work on. And like you always say, it's like Christmas. That's how it feels.
Wow, what can I add to that? Yeah, it's always Christmas the other way around when Johanna comes with recordings, and it really is true. Yeah, it's we all are always very excited when one of us comes with what they worked on, and it's always a treat.
Oh, beautiful. And can I ask you, what was the least magical thing that happened in the studio during the recordings?
Least magical. Wow. Mm. You answer that, Martijn.
That's a good question. What's the least? Then I had to answer the door because a package was delivered, but that's
Oh,
a very boring answer.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't know. No, well, of course, like with everything people do in life, sometimes you have to do organizing things, and organizing is sometimes a bit boring, but it is needed for the process. But that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to the music itself. It's a treat.
Indeed. And I'm just thinking of funny moments that happened. Like, I mean, like cats, our cats that participated in the recordings because they really hate when I sing high, loud notes. That's when they get really agitated. And yeah, I usually keep them outside of my studios or so they're right behind the door, but you can totally hear them. So yeah, we got some meowing on tape as well. The recordings I think we did
Actually,
edit it out, but
we should have kept that, I
I
think.
know we should maybe for the next album. Let's see. Yeah,
yeah, because cats are magical. Cats are very magical, and a lot of metalheads or people who are into good music love cats as well.
I
Yes.
think so too. Yes.
And can I ask you, how many cats do you have and what are their names?
Oh, well, this is actually a really heartbreaking thing to answer you because we did have two cats, our dear Vangelis and Edgar, but our dear Edgar just passed away this December suddenly due to cancer that we discovered. And it was so rapid that we had to say goodbye to our dear boy. But at least we have his meowing there on tapes and dear memories. But yeah,
Memories.
memories indeed. And the way they come and enrich our lives is something that one is bound to never forget. So even though we're still grappling with our sorrow and trying to make sense of it all, because it was just so sudden and he was still such a young fellow and we felt like there was years ahead of him. But yeah, cats are magical and I'm so grateful that we got to know him and we still have his brother Vangelis.
Mhm.
Um,
And we
helping.
laughed a lot about their shenanigans, their things that they did,
I
running
know.
around, and yeah.
It's such a huge part of, well, every time you guys come to visit, they've been there. And even when we tried to film some YouTube, oh no, social media material, they were there also participating. So, yeah. And you guys have a lot of cats, not your own, but in the neighborhood, don't you, Mark?
Yes, I have neighbors, like I think together, those neighbors, two neighbors, I think they have six cats together. And
Mhm.
we only have the fun stuff to do. We don't have to worry about all the yeah going to the vet and that kind of stuff. So we only enjoy, which is wonderful.
Do you
Yeah,
have any cats?
I had a cat. Oh no, I think someone is trying to deliver a package to me, but I'm just going to ignore it because we're talking about cats and music here. That's much more important. So, uh, Actually, I had a cat. That's a long story, but I lived in Switzerland for 1.5 years, and the neighbor's cat moved in with me. And when I moved away, I couldn't take her with me, and I was crying for weeks because she was like my cat. And
Oh, I can
yeah,
totally understand that. They really wrap your heart around their
yeah,
whole existence, and it's such a privilege to befriend a cat and have their love
yeah, that's so
in your
true. But I mean, I knew she had another family when I moved away because she had multiple
good.
families. So it was, but it was still sad. And yeah, and I'm so sorry for your loss. But maybe you can make a memorial song for Edgar with the meowing that you have on the next album, or like a new single or something.
That's a really cool
Well,
idea,
yeah,
actually.
yeah, and I think we've already it is in the works somehow in the ether already bubbling that song for Edgar. I'm sure we're gonna do that at some point. Yeah,
And I feel
thank you.
that, oh, you're welcome. And I feel that your album, First of Forgetting, feels more like a place than like an album. Was it like your goal to create a world that the listeners can step into?
Wow, that's actually a really good way of describing it, right, Johanna?
Yes, I love that description. Thank you.
Yeah, because we kind of also aim to that it's kind of an escape and that, a place you can go to just leave your all day things, like the little worries or the tasks, your responsibilities behind, and therefore also the title Force of Forgetting has to do with that as well. So yeah, you can see it actually as a place. It's really well said. Yeah.
Obviously, Eye of Melian is inspired by Tolkien. And I would like to ask you, what was your first encounter with the work of Tolkien and how old were you?
I think for me it was the I forget the name of the artist who created but it was an animated film from the 70s or something about Lord of the Rings. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, for me it was the same. I think that was my
Okay,
first encounter to like the animated one, like during
awesome.
Christmas time or somewhere in the 80s I saw that, something like
Yes,
that.
me too. That's so cool. So that was my first introduction, and then later on, I read the books and fell in love with them even deeply, more deeply. That you well, as you grow, you understand more things and can appreciate the beauty of Tolkien's world even deeper. But that's so funny that we shared that. That's cool.
Yes. Yeah.
And I would also like to talk about Melian as the character within Tolkien's world. So Melian is defined by beauty, wisdom, foresight, and her ability to sing, her haunting, special singing. What does Melian represent to you, like emotionally and musically?
Wow, you know your stuff. That's really,
I like
really
Tolkien too. Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Well, in the band we have two. I always call them our walking encyclopedias when it comes to Tolkien, and that's Robin and Miko. And when I talk to each other about that stuff, it's always like you have the experts talking about all that stuff, and of course indeed Robin, who writes a big chunk of the lyrics, she was always inspired by Tolkien as well, and the Silmarillion, and indeed that's where the character Melian came from, and because of that, the singing, the music that is part of that story as well. She came up with the name Eye of Melian, actually.
Oh.
So that's actually so the right person for this, who could tell you way more than I could. And I don't know about Johanna, but I don't know as much as Robin and Miko about Tolkien. They know so much, so they could say it the best way.
But I think indeed what Robin really tapped on by coming up with the name was the energy and vibe, as you mentioned, the qualities that Melian is known for. I think very much resonates with the energy of the music that we are creating in Eye of Million. And I think it is a perfect match to the music and indeed it opens like this doorway to the world of elves and that sort of magical realm that we're pursuing also in our music. Yeah.
Yeah, and in Tolkien's world, the forests are more a place of, I think, memory, sometimes also magic, and sometimes even danger. So, what kind of forgetting do you want the audience like, or what kind of forgetting do you mean with your album? Like you said, escape, but could it also be healing or transformation?
It's funny that you mentioned it, because at the very first time that Robin came up with the Forest of Forgetting, I thought it's a dangerous thing that you forget who you are, you forget your
Yeah.
identity, and which is not a good thing. But of course, it was meant as that you forget about your worries and your sorrows and can be at peace with yourself and find your inner strength and just get back to who you are and not have the burden of the mundane stuff you may encounter in daily life. That's kind of the so it is indeed a peaceful, safe place. I think is how it was meant, right, Johanna? Or perhaps I don't know if you have more to say about that.
No, I think you explained it perfectly. I think that is exactly what it is. Even though it is a forest of forgetting, there is the juxtaposition of juxtaposition. Oh God, gosh, that's a big word. My tongue is just having a vacation right now. But yeah, indeed, the opposite is true. Like you need to forget your worries and the noise of life to be able to tap back into the remembering and like you said healing and your true essence. So indeed there is that vibe in there very deeply present, and we hope, like you said, it is a safe haven of sorts that you can just step into to remember yourself, forget the all the nonsense and noise, and just step back into remembering who you really are.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I feel you can also hear that in the songs. And there's
Awesome.
two songs I want to talk about in particular. For Elixir of Night and Dawn of Avatars, you worked with Patty Gurdy and Troy from Nightwish. How did their contributions, sorry, now I can't speak. How did their contributions change the direction of the songs?
Um, I think it deepened the songs. When I wrote the music for Dawn of Avatar, for example, I really wanted to have this folkish kind of element in there, and thanks to Johanna, we got that with her wonderful violin playing, and I absolutely always loved that. I think that's always so. It's a luxury to have access to that also live and yeah, when Johanna plays violin, I love it. But Patty, of course, also has this element very much with her gurdy, playing the gurdy, and so I think it deepens that feeling of that folk element. And then on top of that, if you can also add Troy to that with Uilleann pipes and flutes, and yeah, then it's so much folk. And I absolutely adore that vibe. And so I'm really happy and proud that we have that in our music.
And you have also a very interesting cover version. You covered Bruce Dickinson's Tears of the Dragon. And I feel that's a kind of a bold choice to put that into such a carefully crafted world. What makes this song belong into the Forest of Forgetting?
Well, I think there's some essence in it that just translated so perfectly into the world of Eye of Melian, especially the way Miko arranged it for us, the orchestrations and the arrangement itself, and just the emotion the song carries, the notes, and also the lyrics. I think just caters so well to what we're after expressing. Also with Eye of Melian, I feel like there is that sort of magic and the way it's depicted in these beautiful lines that take you up on a journey. There's, I mean, mentions of dragons, but also it's not just, it has a deeper meaning, it taps into a really raw emotion that it describes. And that is something that I find that me as whenever I write lyrics, I love to emulate that as well. So even though you're using vocabulary that inspires fantasy images in your head, you're still talking about real life things and real emotions and something that speaks to your heart deeply. So I think that was one of the reasons that we all connected with this song so deeply and indeed found it like the perfect match to this album and to our music. Yeah.
I completely agree. I think this track really fits so well in on this album, and even though like Bruce wrote this wonderful song, somehow it found a home here as well. And the sound of I've Million, thanks to Miko and Johanna, you can really hear in there. So, and I have to be honest, I didn't even know the song up front. It was Miko who brought it up. We thought we're signing with the metal label with Napalm Records, and although Eye of Melian is not metal, we have metal roots. We have our connections to metal music, and we thought, how cool would it be to cover a metal song, and yeah, and this Miko brought up this song, and we thought, oh, this is amazing, and totally fits us in the way he arranged it. So I'm, yeah, really happy it found a place there.
And how did it feel for you to reinterpret such an iconic song? Was it intimidating or liberating, or something in between?
Well, for me, I didn't have that feeling because I didn't know the original, which is really stupid actually, because of course I know Iron Maiden, I know Bruce Dickinson, but somehow I missed that song in the 90s. So I didn't really have that. If it would have been a song that I knew, so then it's already different. And on top of that, it was Miko who did the dirty work for us and arranged that song. So I only had to sit back and see what he came up with, and of course you give your feedback, but it was mainly Johanna and Miko doing the work. So was it for you intimidating, Johanna?
Well, this is the odd way my brain works because it never even it doesn't just pick these things up for some reason. I don't. I just enter music with such a childlike, playful energy that I never worry about anything when I start to sing. And I hope that's a good thing. I guess in cases when there's nothing new to add to a song, maybe then it would have been, if it would have been sung already by a female voice that would have been pretty close to my voice, then I probably would have felt like there's nothing more to add. But since the original is so different to our version, I feel like it was easy to kind of just spread my wings on it and see where it would take me and find new inspiring hues inside the song for us. But yeah, so it was more exciting than daunting for sure.
I really like your version of the song.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh, you're
you.
welcome. And I think maybe it was a plus that you both went in there so unbiased.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
so. The best things come out when there's just the joy of creation and no fear. Yeah, absolutely.
And Martin, you just mentioned your metal roots. After years with Delane and other music projects, is there anything that Eye of Melian allows you to express that you couldn't express anywhere else?
Well, it's simply a completely different creature than Delane. Also, with writing the music, with Delane, it's kind of always a challenge, and kind of like a really fun struggle to come up and solving the puzzles. And with Eye of Madeline, I simply sit down and play and kind of in a way creatively float away and just do your thing, and which is a different way, a different approach. And so I hugely enjoy creating music for Eye of Madeline, and it's in a different way than I would do it with Delane. With Delane, I do start the same way, but then you kind of challenge yourself in a different way with the guitar riffing and the drums and those patterns. And with Eye of Melian, it's way more melody focused. I mean, that's also part of Delane, but with Delane there are other aspects that also come in play. And with Eye of Melian, it's more purely focusing on that. And then of course there's also what's also so really cool about this process is that I can hand it over to the next person who's going to work on it. And we have developed such an organic way of working together. And there's so much faith and confidence and respect for the others, for each other, that it's also never a question of, oh, I hope they understand what I'm aiming for, or no, it's we always have the same ideas about what a song should do, where a song should go, and that make the process so easy. And that really makes it Christmas when someone comes back, because then you're always unpacking a present, see, oh, what did they do with the song, and that's so cool. So it's really a very organic process.
Great. And Johanna, I heard you say in interviews that you enjoy making music on your own terms. What does it mean for you?
I think it mostly means that I have the freedom to express myself the way it comes authentically from the heart. And I'm so grateful that this in this group I have that freedom and the trust and I think there's just so much love um, and freedom and appreciation for what we share together and each other's gifts, how much we appreciate each other and what we can bring to the table. And I feel like even though we all have specific roles in this group, our own expertise and wheelhouses, if you will, it is wonderful to experience the level of trust and freedom inside of the creation. And like Martin said, the process, how it goes so organically. There's no need for egos or explanations or just endless discussions of no, I want to take it here, no, I want to take it there. It's just it comes like from this one massive stream of creativity that we all play a part in. And for me, the freedom, I think freedom for all of us is a key factor in writing music and feeling like it's coming from the right place. So yeah, I'm so grateful. A dream team, like we always quote our
Yeah.
band.
I'm also not taking it for granted. I actually honestly never encountered it like this before. That it's so easy and it's just how it is. And it's so organic and indeed there's never ever a discussion or about something. It because it just go with the flow is really that saying really applies here so well. We all go with the flow. Everybody feels free what they like to do, what they love to do. There's a love for each other and respect, and so it's really a dream. It's truly a dream come true.
That's beautiful. And I think we can hear that on the album. At least I could hear that on the album.
Wow, that's amazing to hear. That's awesome. Yeah, that was our aim also a little bit that people can hear the love we put in the music. Yeah.
And Johanna, I have another question for you. How is it for you to be on tour with both Eye of Melian and Auri?
It was a wonderful adventure, as you can imagine. I mean, last year was such a massive year for me because I mean, every start of the year I do make a treasure map, and a tour with Eye of Melian and a tour with Auri had been there for so many years. It has been it had been such a huge dream for me. And the fact that I got to realize both dreams on the same year and on the same tour was just crazy. But I'm so grateful and I'm so happy of how it went. I know it was a sort of a challenge because I mean, there's big songs in both bands, and to perform back to back and kind of do a support act for your other band, it was so interesting, but also fun and something that just gave me so much energy and to realize that yes, this is doable and we can totally share the stage this way. It was, I think, one of the most precious things I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing with both my dear bands.
Oh, beautiful. And I have a very fantastic question. If Melian would step out of the Tolkien world and would listen to your album Forest of Forgetting, what would she think, or what kind of album review would she write?
Wow, that's a good one.
I love your questions. Thank you.
Well, we do love the elves, and that's also a little bit the energy we like to relay. I don't think you will find Morgoth on our music or so it's I hope she will like it and that she will feel at home at our music. I really do.
That's exactly the same word that I had in my mind as well. I hope she would describe it how I would describe it, like coming home, entering a space of home in a sonic way. Yeah, something that you can listen to and feel like you've come back home. I hope that's what she would feel as well, because that's how how deeply it resonates to my heart, at least. Yeah.
And would you like to say something to your fans before we end this interview?
Well, let me start and then because Johanna can always say those things so eloquently. So I'll start and then she does the cherry on the cake, so to say.
No
No,
pressure.
first of all, yeah, just thank you so much for taking the time to check us out and to listen to this interview. And and because of the fans, we can do what we love to do, and that is make music and bring more music into the world. So I always feel so grateful for fans, also live, when I see people come in and think like, because of you, I can do this, and yeah, it's very. I always feel very grateful.
Yes, I feel exactly the same way. And I think connection in this day and age is just something that is so precious and vital for us to be able to connect with each other as human beings. And I'm so grateful that through this music, hopefully we can find more kindred spirits. And like we have been finding in all of you, we're so grateful. And even though we're at the moment, we've only announced shows in the Netherlands and Finland, we're really hoping to also spread out further and do also shows in the rest of the Europe as well, Germany and all these wonderful places. So we really hope to see you all on tour very soon. And meanwhile, share the same love and uplifting beauty that the music can invoke in all of us. So sending lots of love your way.
Oh, that was so beautiful. Um, Thank you too so much for this interview, and I wish you Merry Christmas on February 20th when Forest of Forgetting comes out.
Thank you. I love that.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
very
so
much.
It was such a pleasure. Hi, really nice to meet you. How are you?
Likewise, it's so good that it's working tonight. So, mapuhun myös suomea, se on tosi kiva tavata.
Oh, wow, amazing. Ihana tavata sinut myös. Wonderful. Well done.
Hi, Martin. We're going to switch to English. I speak a bit of Finnish, but you remember we had a
Oh,
nice
really?
interview at Tuska, you and I, and Martin and I.
Yes,
We had
I
this super nice
remember.
interview at Tuska.
Yeah, your Finnish is probably better than mine. I only know a couple silly words, but
Do you know Vittu?
yes, I know that. That's a very cute word. I do know that. Now, actually, I knew chestbeard, but now I forgot about it. Green chestbeard is what I knew in Finnish.
Really? Can you say it in Finnish?
Something with a rask. I forgot about it. What was it again, Johanna?
Well, if you wanted to say just hair, it's rintakarva, like one
Rintakarva.
singular hair.
Yes.
I remember that's what one
Yes.
that you wanted to learn.
Rintakarva. Well, this is a great start for the interview.
Yeah, I
Isn't it?
noticed. I think so too.
You can start with a green chest beard and the title. I don't
Yeah,
know
yes,
the
please, can you say it again? Like we can you repeat what
Rintakarva.
rintakarva? Is it vihreä rintakarva? I think.
Wow. You got
Wow, that's pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Music Interviews Corner.